Let's take you back to that top story about the addition in the number of voters that have been recorded in the country. There's been an increase from 19.6 million to 22.1 million. The audit of the voters register also reveals an abnormal transfer of voters in 10 counties, and also a number of dead voters rather, have been expunged from that record. Here now is NTV's Sydney Chazima, who also reports that 3 IEBC employees are set to be charged in court over the illegal transfer of those voters.
Thank you.
Preparations for the general election are in top gear, and today the IEBC has given a status update on the register of voters that has been undergoing an audit by the KPMG firm. The report submitted to the IEBC on the 18th of June gave a detailed overview on the status of the register of voters, highlighting key areas that needed to be looked into by the Commission, even as it races against time to put its house in order. From the findings, there has been an upward trajectory in the total number of registered voters, with the Commission stating that from the 19,611,423,000 registered voters in 2017, an increase of 2,509,035 voters has been noted. This translating to a total of 22,120,458 registered voters in 2022.
The final number of registered voters in 2017, we had 19,611,423 registered voters, and 2022 we have 22,120,000.
2017, the country now has seen a 13.08% rise in the number of polling stations, representing a total figure of 46,232 polling stations countrywide.
In 2017, we had 40,883 polling stations, and for 2022, we shall have 46,232 polling stations. This gives a growth rate of 13.08%.
According to data released in 2017 by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the country had 25,212,096 eligible voters. The number has also gone up in 2022, with the Commission chair citing an increase to 27,857,598. The Commission is also reporting an increase in the number of voters in the prisons and also on the diaspora voters.
In prisons, 2017, we had 5,182 registered voters. In 2022, 7,483. And diaspora, 2017, 4,223. In 2022, 10,440.
In recent times, the Commission had come under fire over an alleged illegal transfer of voters, with DP Ruto claiming that close to 1 million voters had been allegedly moved from his perceived strongholds. The IEBC, through an internal memo by its secretary, had urged for an immediate reversal of all transfers done without requisite documentation and consent from the voters. The Commission then set up a task force to reverse all the transfers at the Bomas of Kenya. And today, the Commission gave a blow-by-blow account of that process so far.
There were 226,143 records that do not match with the NRB and DIS, with the National Registration Bureau and Department of Immigration Services, meaning that there were IDs and passport reference documents that matched with the NRB and DIS, but the names recorded in our database and the other database were not agreeing. The ID numbers were agreeing, but the names were not agreeing. So there were 26,143 as at 2nd June 2022. By the time when we issued the final audit, we had resolved 24%, and that is 107. That translated to balance of 172,929.
A total of 4,757 voters had been registered twice.
Out of that, we have actually managed to handle 59% of that. So there were 4,757 records, but we handled 59% of that. And the remaining 1,928, was still actually in the registration, in the register of voters.
481,711 represented the number of people within the register of voters with duplicated or blank ID or passport references.
By the time of issuance of the audit report, the number had reduced to 144,674. We actually dealt 70% of these items were actually closed.
There were also records with invalid document reference numbers.
And 11% of those were actually corrected.
The records of deceased persons in the register detailed at 246,645 by 2nd of June. And on this, the IEBC has cleared this record by 100%. As the clock ticks towards the August date with political destiny, the IEBC is in a race to ensure the tentative issues highlighted by the audit are put in order. Sydney Chazima, NTV.